Hello, my Lumonites. It is Ivy, also known as Intuitive IVM, here on this channel as well as on my TikTok and on my Instagram. If you are new here, I am the co-founder of an amazing spiritual business company called Unearthly Treasures, where we have all sorts of spiritual things, including a Aphrodite's Kiss candle, which very much corresponds with this video here. Also, if you are new here, this channel is all about the magical, the mystical, and the supernatural. So if you're into one or all three of those topics, feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell to be notified when I post. Today, I have something different for you. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the goddess Aphrodite, and not only just talk about her, but also see if we can do a tarot reading with her and see if she'll talk to me. I thought it would be perfect because it is February. It is literally like love month. Love is in the air, and you know, her son being Eros, her being Aphrodite, I just thought it would be nice to see if we can get some channeled messages. I actually already have 3, so she seems to, I don't know, be communicating with me, if not just for me, maybe the people out there that want to know more about her. So yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, you guys, so if you guys do not know the goddess Aphrodite, which of course, like, everybody has to know who Aphrodite is. Aphrodite is a Greek goddess, Greek mythology goddess, and she is the goddess of beauty, she is the goddess of love, she is the goddess of sexuality. She's just, I don't know. There was a phase in my life where I was obsessed with Aphrodite. I absolutely loved her. When I first learned about Greek mythology back in elementary school, Aphrodite also corresponds with the planet Venus. She's also very tied into the Roman goddess Venus. She has, I mean, she's the goddess of love and sexuality and beauty, so of course she has her little romances with, you know, Poseidon. That one I didn't know about until I recently researched it, but apparently she has children with Poseidon, and of course there's Ares, who is the guy that she was in love with. From what we know in Greek mythology, Aphrodite was very much in love and infatuated with Ares, and together they had Eros. We know Eros, right? So Aphrodite is a goddess that very much is very prideful in her beauty, and she can be easily offended, which is why I want to make sure that I'm doing this tarot reading with the utmost respect for her, because I mean, I did really like back in grade school when I first learned about Greek mythology, I loved her so much, had nothing but respect for this goddess. So yes, so I'm hoping to get some messages. I actually already have 3 here, so let's just go ahead and get started. So Aphrodite is known again as the goddess of love, beauty, and sexuality. And for some reason, I grabbed my tarot cards to ask about. I didn't even ask. I was just like, okay, she's the goddess of love. I pulled out a card. Goddess of beauty, pulled out a card. Goddess of sexuality, pulled out a card. Not necessarily just like asking exactly what that meant. Just wanted to see what I would get. And so first of all, we have for the goddess of love part of her, we have the 3 of Wands. This to me is basically like, she is very much the goddess of love, of self-love, of confidence, but also the goddess of love in general. And this, if you look at the picture, there's this woman holding up a wand, and she has these wands behind her that are charging forth. So she's not physically charging forth, but the wands behind her are. So this to me shows like how much, like, I feel like she's very tied into Eros, and whenever she is assisting with love, obviously I feel like she sends out Eros to do all that work for her. So it's not necessarily just her doing it. I feel like she has Eros there really helping her and being the one that really does the physical part of it, if that makes sense. Next we have the goddess of beauty, and then we have, for this we have the 8 of Wands. this to me is a representation of like word to mouth, how she became known as the goddess of beauty. It was word of mouth, as in like they saw this goddess, they saw how beautiful and stunning she was, and from everybody saying like, wow, look at her, she's beautiful, she's stunning, and it just crossing the land, that's how she became more referenced as the goddess of beauty, just because of how people were just awed by her, and it just spread how beautiful this woman, this goddess was, or is, I should say. And lastly, this one I thought was so freaking adorable. For sexuality, we actually got the Knight of Cups, and then we have this female in armor with like a heart and this like cup overflowing. Again, I'll insert a picture here. But this, to me, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, she's talking about Aries. She is talking about Aries. So I feel like, while yes, sexuality, there was a lot of sexual chemistry between her and Aries, because we have the Knight of Cups, because we have this heart that's just overflowed with emotion, I feel that like those feelings for Aries were genuine. They were really there. They were more than just sexuality. They became, it might have not started off like that, but I feel like they really just sort of overflowed. And I feel like because of the way that this girl, this knight, is looking in the photo, I feel like the feelings were very mutual. So they were both very smitten with each other. First thing that I want to ask her is, how would you describe yourself? Okay. Ooh. There. Okay. Alright, so let's get into the cards that Aphrodite is using to describe herself. First thing we have is the Four of Wands. So this to me is very celebratory, very like, she likes to have fun when it's times of celebration and joy. She's there. Like, she's there. She very much likes to celebrate those moments, very much likes to have fun in those moments. Usually depicted, the Four of Wands sometimes has like a kind of like a marriage looking background. So I feel like when it comes to marriages, when it comes to weddings and stuff, Aphrodite loves that, of course, which makes sense. But I love that she's very, like, she seems to be very present. She seems to really enjoy events and celebrations, especially things like weddings. Next, we have the Four of Cups. So this is very much like contemplation, I want to say. I don't know. I feel like there's something about her that a lot of people, like mainstream media, depicts her a certain type of way, I should say, and I feel like that's not entirely the whole story, and I feel like that's something that kind of like she feels like she needs to get it out. Like there's a little bit more to her story, to her, she's a little bit more complex than most people make her out to be. When describing herself, we got the Strength card, which, okay, makes sense, right? But usually when you think of strength in like a god, you think of like Aries. You think of like the, well, I anyway think of like Aries, think of like Athena. Aphrodite, yes, she's strong in her suits where she excels. So to see that like she's overall just a very strong goddess, I can see that. I can see that. Actually, I can see that. But she's not, I feel like she wants to be a little bit more represented in that way. And that could be where this is coming from. But I feel like she wants to be a little bit more represented in that sort of way than most people know, if that makes any sense. Next thing that we got is the Peace card. So, which is so funny because the first thing that you always hear is like Aphrodite has a temper, Aphrodite is easy to offend. So to get this Peace card, it's like a breath of fresh air. You know, she's like, hey, you know, I'm not as ill-going as people seem to think I am. And she wants people to know that. And I think that that's beautiful. And I think that I don't know, I just think that's beautiful. And surrender, what I'm kind of getting now is that she sort of just surrendered to this sort of way that some people might think of her. Like, well, people are saying that I'm ill-tempered. Well, people are saying that I'm this. Well, people are saying that I'm that. When really she's like, hey, I'm not like that. But she sort of just like surrendered to like
this assumption that people have because she's not that mainstream media and everything just makes her out to be a certain type of way, which makes sense. What I love is that she really seems to want people to know that she is strong. Like, she is a strong goddess, because we got El Strength. And if you see, there is this woman that has a tattoo of a rose on her like arm right here, which I think is so cool because, you know, Aphrodite, her flowers, her roses, that's a few things that like you can give to her. That's a few things that you can have on her altar, a few offerings. So for that, it's just like, hey, I want you to know I am strong too. Like, I'm stronger than what people present me as. I'm stronger. I'm a strong goddess too. I should be known also not just for the love, the beauty, the sexuality, but my strength as well. And I love that. Then we have the Emperor, and these sort of came out together. So I don't know. No, I don't want to say that it's just Aries that gives her strength. I feel like Aries did teach her, like, you know what, like, you're strong. Like, he instilled that in her. Sort of like, you know, no matter what other people think, like, you really are a strong goddess, and I want you to know that. And he sort of planted that seed in her that she was like, you know what, you are right. I am strong. I am strong. I want to be known for my strength as well. And I feel like he put that in her, and that's probably how those feelings grew even. Then lastly, we have the Devil, El Devil card. This one, I'm not sure. When I'm thinking El Devil in Greek mythology, I'm thinking of Hades. But I don't know how that would describe Aphrodite. Like, we might have to get a clarification card for that. Maybe
yeah,
a little. Maybe. Yeah. Okay, so Aphrodite can also be abundance, a representation of abundance. So she also wants you to know that that's also what she represents. And maybe the Devil represents how money is seen as both good or evil, but essentially it's a tool. That might be it. Plus we have the Three of Wands, which again brings me back to somebody doing the physical work. So I'm not sure if Hades is somehow tied into this. I'm still not sure. But if you guys have an interpretation of this, definitely let me know, because I'm curious about this. I'm curious. So very interesting, very interesting. So next question I want to ask is, what are some signs that she will send to people that want to work with her? Okay, so we got quite a lot of answers here. So some signs that she will send is an open road. So this could be a journey that you come across, that you work very hard to, that leads to some sort of financial abundance. When you get that motivation to go down this road that leads to this abundance, when you're living that life of luxury, like this picture even reminds me of her, know that she is there near you. Especially, yeah, I want to say especially with when it comes to femininity. Also, we have this, the Chariot definitely reminds me of Artemis for some reason. So I want to say, like, this journey that leads to like financial abundance, it's her teaming up with Artemis. First of all, flowers. Okay, we have white roses, we have wine, even red wine in particular seems to be something that she enjoys. So wine is definitely a sign of her. White roses. So in terms of offerings, I feel like red wine is another one. I'm not sure if that's something that she already talks about, but it seems like she really enjoys red wine. For some reason, the red wine stood out to me. So I feel like that's another thing that you could possibly put on your altar to offer her as an offering for her. So now let's get into what does offend you that potential devotees might want to avoid. So I wrote a list of questions beforehand that I want to ask her. So what does have the potential to offend you? Okay, so a few things. One thing is that I feel like she really wants her devotees to be aware of the fact that she does hold a lot of strength, but she would prefer potential devotees to know about her, is that she wants you to know that she is strong, and that aside from love, beauty, sexuality, even like financial abundance, she does have the potential to help in pretty much every other aspect of your life, because she does have the strength and the power to do so. So that's one thing that she really wants you to know. That's one thing that she really wants people to know in general about her. So really getting this message out. It's so funny that we got these two cards yet again. I thought that was very interesting. Next thing, a few different things here. So I feel like when you work with her, I feel like people are very eager and they just sort of work with her because they're like, oh, she's gonna help me with this, you know, and then they just jump into it without really knowing too much about her, about what she represents. And they're just like, well, she can help me with, you know, love. Well, she can help me with beauty. Well, she can help me with this. And just sort of just like trying to jump in and working with her without really getting to know her, without developing that relationship. And she wants people, the people that are devotees of her, she wants that relationship with them, as in like they respect her and they don't just want to work with her to get something out of it, and not like, you know, not form that sort of bond where she gets something back in return, you know, because you're working in the end, like she has something that you want, like what are you gonna offer her? Do you get what I mean? And I feel like people are just like, oh, well, she can give me love, and that's why I'm working with her, and that's it. She wants somebody that's very much wants to form a relationship with her in more depth than just like that, if that makes any sense. So definitely somebody that really studies her. The Hierophant here, definitely somebody that really, like I said, like talks about her, speaks about her, learns about her, knows about her, really wants to form that bond with her, and somebody that has more experience, as in like knows more about her than just diving in blindly and be like, I want to work with her because of this, you know. So really taking that movement, really taking that step to really get to know who she is. So what are some things that she will send to her devotees to let them know that, you know, they have offended her? So some things that might get in the way. Ooh, that one just jumped out. So a lot of swords energy here. A lot of word to mouth. You'll just kind of know, like she'll let you know. Very communicative in a sense that like she'll make it known. Like she'll just make it known. You might just have that. Swords represents like communication. It represents like mentality. So I feel like she's gonna communicate to you, like just let you know, like, hey, you're gonna hear it like mentally, like, hey, just letting you know, you kind of crossed the line a little bit. Yeah, again, 8 of Wands, communication, like movement, news. Let's see. 9 of Swords. So she can maybe potentially like be like, hey, if you offend her that much, I feel like she will let you know, as in like you're going to have very anxious thoughts. There might be a lot of things that suddenly start falling apart. So don't mess things up with her. You don't want to cross that line, definitely. But it seems like, I don't know, like for me, she just seems, I don't know, I'm getting this 9 of Swords, like she can really flip things over. Like I said, she wants you to know her strength, and she will let you know just how strong she is. So you do not want to offend her in any way. Ooh, messing up relationships, that makes sense. But she can also, if you are in harmony with her, she can definitely improve relationships as well. This one reminds me of Hephaestus, this 9 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, strength. She's very strong, and she has a lot of allies with Hephaestus, with Artemis. It seems like she's very close to, with the Emperor being the Apache definitely was Aries. This could possibly be Zeus. We have that devil energy, so again, very like with Hades as well. she can help you with all sorts of things. She can help you with your financial situation. She can help you with love. She can help you reach your goals and reach your dreams. And she help with hopefulness as well, help with motivation. She is definitely very close to a lot of other powerful influences that, like, if you needed help with something that she's not exactly known for, she can very much still help you out because she has, you know, her allies with her. And if it's not her area of expertise, which again, she's very well grounded and she wants people to know that she does have that potential to help with every other aspect, she also has friends to help her alongside as well that are known for other things as well. So really interesting. So that is all, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's very different from the other videos that I've filmed, but I hope you guys did enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making this. Again, closing it out, Aphrodite, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate you for communicating with me. So I'm getting like this tingly feeling right now. So I want you to know that I'm grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.